much. Thank you. Thank you. Good heavens. Good heavens. Hi, boys and girls. Stevie Coyle here, webcasting as we do on noon on Fridays for the Friday Noontime webcast at Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California. Nice to see you. Any questions so far? Okay, well, that guitar, this guitar, is made by Ted Thompson, a gentleman out of, I think it's Vancouver. Yeah. Well, Vernon, British Columbia. And if I recall correctly, I think he builds in the same little industrial park as Linda Manzer and some other folks. So he's in good company there. Very low output on his guitars, which is to say just a few a year, all handmade. I think he's the only guy that touches the guitar from start to finish. And I fell in love with one of these, not this one and not the other one I'm going to show you, but one of these at Griffin Stringed Instruments years and years ago when I was working there. And I'd just make a point of playing everything that came into the shop just to see what it would do. And this one, as you want, given all the other circumstances being equal, if you can find a guitar that just loves you right out of the gate, that's the best. This one jumped up and said, "I'm yours. You just got to find the money for me." And as it turns out, I was playing a guitar at the time where the fingerboard was a little too narrow for me. I'd finally, after decades, figured out that left-hand spacing really does matter. Just a little extra space between the strings on the left hand. The guitar I was playing was 1 11/16. Here we go with the geeking, kids. Put on your geek hats. The guitar I was playing had 1 11/16 across the nut here. And the guitar that I wanted, that I just was shouting at me to buy it, was 1 3/4 inches. And it was a Ted Thompson. It was actually this size guitar. Mine is a cutaway. Now, here, this is a T2. I think he only makes 2 models. The T2, which is this one, kind of a 00 sort of size, maybe a little bit bigger than a 00. And then then he's got the T1 here, which is really pretty wide across the lower bout there. It's almost the size of an M36 or a quadruple O, to use the Martin specifications. And mine is an awful lot like this, except with a cutaway. I don't really kind of play the meedly notes too much, so I don't get a whole lot of use out of that. I was hoping maybe I could fit a pint glass there, but that didn't work either. So it's just kind of an artistic statement more than anything else at the moment. I love these guitars. They're just so straightforward and kind of quietly elegant. There are guitars that kind of visually shout at you from across the room and say, "Look at me, look at me." These don't do that, but once you get up close, you say, "Oh my goodness, that's elegant." All of the little appointments on this are just lovely, including this treatment on the fingerboard here. These are your position markers. Sometimes you get little teeny dots of abalone or pearl to mark the frets for you, so you can see them up here on this part of the guitar. You've got this lovely action happening at 3, 5, 7, and 9 and 12. This one is a Koa guitar, Koa back and sides, and a lovely Sitka spruce top. And man alive, just straightforward and comfy. And my Thompson stands up to the road, to being out there amongst all kinds of weathers and all kinds of situations. It's an extremely stable guitar. The guitar I had before was a Loudon, and it was lovely, but I took it out on that first tour with the Waybacks and discovered that cedar tops don't travel nearly as well as spruce tops do. That guitar, the first shows we did on the road all those years ago were at a festival in eastern Canada, way out there near Prince Edward Island, Canso, Nova Scotia, at the Stan Rogers Folk Festival. And it started off beautiful, lovely afternoon, Thursday afternoon, fantastic, lovely. By Sunday morning, it was sleeting sideways. And these Canadians play outdoors anyway. It's just preposterous. Another festival we did in Canmore, the Canmore Festival. We were kind of in the west central part of the country there near Banff. Freezing rain, literally freezing rain happening. We had those chemical hand heaters trying to keep ourselves warm. They're in the front row. It's raining on them. It's freezing cold. It's half snowing. They don't care. Tough souls. But the guitar did not stand up so very well to all of that kind of weather. So much as I love that Loudon guitar with the cedar top, I sold it off to a friend and bought the Thompson, and boy oh boy, it has served me well. Ted Thompson, He's kind of a mysterious presence online. There's not a whole lot about him out there. I wish I could tell you more about him. All I can tell you is what shows up in the guitars. Now this one is a slightly different sound, but still something, it kind of strikes a great, it just occurred to me that one of the reasons I like my Thompson so much, and all of these, is because they do everything really well. Some guitars are really highly articulate, and they're great for fingerstyle when you want the trebles and the mid-ranges and the basses to all stand out and be very pianistic, very much like a piano, where everything stands out and is individual. And sometimes you want, for strumming in particular, you want a guitar that saturates nicely, where all of those notes blend together, and rather than each standing out and saying, I'm by myself, you want them all to kind of blend together and play nicely in the same sandbox. And the Ted Thompsons do that. Oh, you know what? I have not asked if the sound is good. Anybody out there wants to comment on the sound, feel free. Oh, and I haven't taken myself over. We're okay on the on a comment front there?
It's good on my phone.
Okay, good, good. Everything seems to be working as planned. Let me jump over and send this to, oh, something is complicated here. What is that? Never seen that before. We'll do this later. Never mind. Pressing on with the Ted Thompson guitars. I'll play a little bit on this one. Ted Thompson guitars. Oh, thanks very much. Thank you. Very kind. Nothing terribly fancy about them. Kind of your standard rosewood, either rosewood body or koa body. The tops are both Sitka spruce. The fingerboards are ebony. The bridges are ebony as well. And just kind of quietly, understatedly elegant guitars. Ted Thompson. Come and get them, because they're among the best values in the shop. Check it out online. I'm far too discreet to mention the prices online, but these are both in the $2,200, $2,400 range. So go to Mighty Fine Guitars, check it out, hit me up, and let's talk turkey. Crazy Stevie's Guitar Emporium. I must be crazy. These guitars. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about Ted Thompson guitars, just because a lot of the folks that come in here do a lot of traveling. And they agonize about, oh boy, one of these days I really should get a travel guitar. I got myself one of those little stick guitars, you know, it's kind of a stick with strings on it, has a little teeny body. Not very satisfying to play. There are choices these days. Yes, there are. And what I offer here at Mighty Fine Guitars is in the travel realms. Can I hand you that? Thank you very much. And just lean that up against there. Thanks. This is the overhead model by a company called Journey, and it's all carbon fiber. You can't kill it. It's like that. One of the great features of this guitar is comfort. It's a bit heavy as guitars go, not outrageously so, but certainly not a real lightweight. the all carbon fiber construction is the best of all possible worlds and could have been, in lesser hands, the worst of all possible worlds. Carbon fiber doesn't sound exactly like wood. I don't think these guitars are going to be anybody's absolute favorite guitars, but for travel, they're a whole lot better than no guitar. And they sound way better than they have a right to, considering that there's no wood involved at all. To make up for the kind of extra weight of the guitar, which is, it's not outrageous, about the weight of a dreadnought, I suppose, is this kind of construction. A lot of builders are doing this nowadays, where this part of the guitar is much wider than that part of the guitar. And of course, this part of the guitar sits under your arm, so it's really comfortable. Instead of having a really wide-waisted guitar that sits up really high on your lap, because the waist here is really wide, and the thickness of the guitar is really wide, like those dreadnoughts we all had to have in high school and college, and some of us still play to great effect, but I think a lot of us, too, would love to have a guitar you can just kind of hang out on the couch and binge watch Netflix with, or watch sports with. And a smaller guitar serves really well. Smaller guitars with this wedge that was kind of revived. We had seen this before in guitar making in years past, but it was really kind of revived by Linda Manzer, also up in Vancouver area, along with Ted Thompson. But this wedge action makes things really comfortable under your right arm. And this bevel here adds to the comfort, so you don't have kind of a sharp edge poking into that nerve bundle in the inside of your elbow there. And it plays pretty good, sounds okay. And like I say, it shouldn't sound that good because it's plastic, but it's really high test plastic. Big benefit to a travel guitar like this is you can actually travel with it, because, check this out, I love doing this. Turn the little crank there. Now you've seen the guitars where the neck folds over, but I'm not sure you've seen a guitar that does this. It's a horrifying noise, I know. It's chilling. But the neck comes off altogether, and the whole thing fits in. Ducky, would you grab that little black bag that's right next to you there, the little travel bag that's directly to the right of the, it's kind of under your jacket there. There we go. Yeah. Would you pop that over here? I forgot to get it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Shigor, Mistress of the Machines, known dear Valerie May, applauding for herself behind the camera. And why not? I would too if I were her. This whole thing fits in here, and it's a cool little travel bag. Kind of high-test Cordura stuff. I think this is probably even that bulletproof stuff. You've got some straps on there if you want them. You can tuck the straps in, the backpack straps. You can tuck them in if you want to kind of put it through luggage. But with this, you can this whole thing is designed to fit in the overhead compartment of most airliners. And a benefit, people think I'm joking, but I'm not. A great benefit of these guitars with the offset sound hole here, this is totally usable space. You can put your socks, your t-shirts, your underwear in there, a sandwich, some snacks, whatever you need to go with you. And if it's just strictly an overnight, I wouldn't leave that space for nobody to use no-how. It's ridiculous. So when you get to the gig, when you get to your destination, when you get to your hotel room, wherever you're going, you just kind of lean this back in here, push it till it clicks. That means it's pretty much there. This does the tighten up. Come on, y'all, tighten up. And strangely enough, depending on how badly these have gotten twisted or not as you put it away, and if they don't get twisted, you come back almost in tune. That ain't right. Demons is my theory. Put on your big shoes and dance. So this company, the Overhead, is one model by the outfit which is called Journey out of Texas. I think the guitars are made in Asia somewhere, but they're sold through an outfit in Texas, and they're great folks, real easy to work with. These come in colors. There's the face can be either black like this. There's kind of a sapphire blue. There's kind of a brick red. There's another one that's kind of pumpkin-y sort of color. They're great guitars for a little over $1,000, about $1,100, depending on what flavor you like. There are also wooden guitars as well. Let's see here. They also do an all wooden guitar and with nylon strings. Same idea. A little wedgy body. No bevels on this one, of course. And song. I should learn that one of these days. So this is the wooden model. This one comes with a sound port as well. A little tough to get your underwear and socks in the sound hole on this one. A little tougher, but you get the benefit here. You can kind of put your breadsticks, put your carrot sticks there. Keep a little Slim Jim. Crack into a Slim Jim. Stick them right there and have them ready to go in the gig. Because you don't want to get kind of tired and shagged out when you're doing a gig. You got to keep your strength up. So those guitars, these two guitars, are by a company called Journey. And highly recommended for travel in particular, of course. And both very sturdy. Of course, the carbon fiber guitar over here, you just about can't kill it. Folks play these in the rain. They come with pickups, by the way, their own passive pickups that also work in the rain. I've tested it. They work. So great, totally versatile guitars, and a whole lot better than having no guitar and kind of going crazy and driving your family crazy because you're away from your guitar for a week or two or more. What a nightmare. I've done it. It's no fun. Now, in the realm of travel guitars as well, there's one more I would like to show you. I wish I knew more about this guitar. All I know is it's very dusty because it's been kind of tucked away in a corner for a long time. I don't know where this guitar came from. I went to the loo one day and came back a couple of minutes later, and this guitar was leaning up against the bar in here. So if you're responsible for this, thank you, I think, and tell me what you think. It's a travel guitar, all right. It's designed for travel. In fact, I think there was a post-it on here or a little note that said, "Here's a travel guitar." This was built by somebody somewhere. They took an otherwise perfectly good Fender guitar and put a handle on it because it's a travel guitar, of course. If you want to travel with it, they decided the headstock was probably nothing you'd need for travel. You don't need to tune while you're in transit, while you're walking along traveling. So they put the headstock and the tuners down in here. So there's the tuners. I haven't messed with them. The guitar doesn't really require tuning. It's more of its forte is in the visual realms rather than the sonic or musical realms, so it kind of does what it needs to do by my lights without messing with the tuners at all. Plenty of room in here for bigger stuff. You could probably even fit a mandolin in there. You know, take a real musical instrument with you inside your travel guitar. And when you're all done messing with the inside, snap it closed, and there you go. I gave my love a cherry, etc. How many must a man... you can just play, kind of sing every other note with this guitar and it'll be fine. Ooh, it's very dusty though. It's shocking. The mistreatment these guitars get in this shop. Where's the manager? So this little adventure, this Friday noontime webcast has been all about Ted Thompson guitars and travel guitars. This one is, I mean, everything is negotiable, as they say. So if you require this guitar, make me an offer. No unreasonable offer refused. Aye. And but mostly I wanted to show you the travel guitars and the Ted Thompson guitars, which are lovely. I happen to have two in the shop, and I play one myself. So highest recommendations, top marks for Ted Thompson guitars. And with all that in mind, thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's your old pal Stevie Coyle here. Friday noontime webcast from Mighty Fine Guitars. Oh, wanted to let you know too. Tune in if you're too far away to come to the show next Saturday night, the 15th, April 15th. That evening, we're going to be hosting a character out of Los Angeles named Brother Youssef, wonderful blues man, just a really fierce blues man. One more little bit of geeking. What he does for playing slide guitar, and he's fantastic, masterful at playing slide guitar. A lot of us would tune into an open D tuning, you know. So a lot of us would jump into a big open tuning like this. Ooh, my teeth. Now what he does, he's playing blues like this, and then when it's time to go to your 4 chord, because there's usually a 4 chord in blues, you have to kind of play this bass note up here, this 65, this 6th string, 5th fret, with your slide. I think I have one around here somewhere. Maybe not. Capos, slides, picks appear and disappear here. I never know exactly what's in stock. Here's one. Hello, testing. Here's the slide. So you're playing along, I'm playing blues, and then it's you go into that 4th chord, you need to do this. What a smart character, even in a D tuning. He takes his 4th string to a G note. So he's got all of this, he can be hammering away on that 4 interval while he's playing slide. How smart, how clever, and totally soulful and mystical and wonderful. I was thrilled by the guy. He came in here. In fact, if you look way down the crawl here on the Mighty Fine Guitars page, you'll find he sat in here several months ago for one of these Friday noontime webcasts, and was just, our guests were flabbered. He was fantastic. So he's going to be playing here on next Saturday night, the 15th, right here at Mighty Fine Guitars. If you can't stop by, do tune in, because I think we're going to webcast the whole thing. So stop in again to Mighty Fine Guitars here, or to my personal page, Stevie Coyle, Facebook page, and we'll serve up some Brother Youssef Fatback Blues. He's fantastic. So tune in when you can. With all that in mind, again, I was just about to excuse ourselves, and off we go. Once again, Stevie Coyle signing off from Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Ta-ta.